Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to do a Throwback Thursday book review. So hopefully this is the first one of 4 Thursday throwback book reviews that I'll do for the month of December while I'm trying to post something every single day for the month in what I'm calling 31 Days of Kenya. Today's book review is Peter and the Starcatchers. All right, so it's been a bunch of years since I've read this book, but one of the things that I've noticed over the last few months, maybe it's just the last few weeks, is that because it is a holiday season, a gift-giving season, lots of people are asking for book recommendation requests that are basically, give me something a boy would like, or give me something a girl would like. One of the things I love about books is that you don't need to use your genitalia to read them. So anybody can read any book. But what I love about Peter and the Starcatchers is that it's an adventure story with pirates and dogs and mermaids and all of those things that has both a boy main character, secondary main character, and a female main, not secondary, but primary lead character. The original Peter Pan story was really about Wendy. And this story is about Molly, a girl who is the daughter of a naval officer in England, I believe. And there are 2 ships, and one of the ships has a box of treasure on it, and one of them has a box that doesn't have treasure on it. And there's lots of confusion about which box is which and which ship is which ship. And one of the cool things about this being a Peter Pan derivative is that it gives you a little bit of that origin story of some of the creatures that live in Neverland. So there's lots of adventure, there's lots of mayhap, there's lots of mayhem, and there's a bad guy. So this is probably a middle grade. I can't remember how old the kids are explicitly, but it's a middle grade. But I know some 10-year-olds that might be a little bit nervous about some of the more adventurous parts. And I know some 7-year-olds who would love it and would have no problem with it. So if you're making a recommendation or looking for a recommendation for a child that you know well, you can take a look at some of the passages and make a decision about whether or not you feel like it would be a good story for them. If it's a child who sometimes gets a little bit nervous, it might be something that could be read together so that you guys could talk a little bit about what's happening in the story. It's not what you would call necessarily realistic, so you should be okay. And you can kind of predict together, what do you think's going to happen next? Wow, that can't happen in real life, can it? So that could make it a little bit easier for your younger kids who might be a little bit nervous, but it is a middle grade book. So let me read a little bit on the back. In an evocative and fast-paced adventure on the high seas and on a faraway island, an orphan boy named Peter and his mysterious new friend Molly overcome bands of pirates and thieves in their quest to keep a fantastical secret safe and save the world from evil. That sounds amazing. It's a great book. I would recommend it to you, especially if you are looking for a book that boys and girls can really both enjoy. Oh, I didn't even tell you. It's also a play. So I have had the opportunity to see Peter and the Starcatchers performed on stage twice. Once by our local School of the Arts. So the teenagers in the theater program at our local Fame School put the show on, and They did a fantastic job. The young girl, the young girl who played Black Stash, who is the Captain Hook character, was fantastic. But everybody in the cast was great. And then last year, one of our local community theaters did it with a cast of almost all adults, except for the boys and Molly were teens. And I've had the opportunity to work with the young girl who played Molly. We were in a production of Charlotte's Web together, and she's fantastic. And the whole cast was awesome. The show here, the adult show was very physical. Actually, it's a very physical show because the way that it's staged is like a group of kids who are acting out these roles. So it's very just lots of movement all the time, and it's very funny, and there's lots of cleverness. And so if you have the opportunity to see Peter and the Starcatcher performed, I would definitely recommend that you go. And if you have the opportunity to see Peter and the Starcatcher and take a young friend who is being introduced to the theater and you want them to see something funny and fun, then this is a great show for that as well. All right, that is my first throwback review. Catch you on the next one.